BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs. And there's more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NHL, and UFC. And in between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino. All the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino action. So BetOnline, the game starts here.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So they did a backstage package on Kota Ibushi and his friendship with Kenny Omega. Kota Ibushi's on the show tonight.
The Golden Lovers?
So the Young Bucks responded. They responded to swerving them. They come back and said,
Disco. I don't get it how Kota Ibushi was out of AEW TV for almost 2 years, and his return was just on a random AEW collision with Mark Briscoe being up on the stage and being like, oh, Kenny Omega does have friends. I'm one of his friends, and here's another one of his friends. And Kota Ibushi comes out. It should have been a huge deal.
Bro, he's not a huge deal, though. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the fans still do not know. Yeah, but
that fan base he is, bro. When him and Omega finally hook up, that whole place is gonna come.
I don't.
And it should have.
I honestly, I don't think he's as over as he was 5 to 6 years ago.
And not only that, I think he fights Okada next week.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And he had a history in New Japan with Okada. Wait 1 second, bro, but you don't watch Japanese wrestling. These guys do. Okay? So he's giving them what they want. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Is anything that I've said wrong, Harry, because you're the AEW fan?
You're on spot, man.
No, I'm gonna.
Harry, you don't think
so you know more about AEW than this guy who's got a license?
No, I just know that I know that New Japan,
right,
when it was on TV, was doing like 400,000 viewers.
Right.
Okay. Now the AEW.
That's TV. How about mobile things? That they obviously have a crowd.
Just listen to
me, bro. The wrestling there is not bad. It's different than here, but it's not bad. It's not as good as it used to be, in my opinion. But these guys were big stars in New Japan, and the fans of AEW like New Japan, and they watched it, and they know their history. So to them, this is big, bro.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you on the premise. Let me tell you why. Okay, because only 400,000 or so people were watching New Japan over here. AEW draws far more than that. I still say, even their core audience for AEW, a lot of them do not care about New Japan because New Japan isn't that popular anymore. Because they swallowed up all their talent. Yeah. My thing is that this Kota Ibushi guy is kind of like, this isn't like Randy Orton coming back or somebody like that. He's kind of just like, past history. It's just not. To me, it's not that big of a deal.
You heard everything he just said, right?
Disco,
what would be your response to that?
Where was New Japan getting 400,000 viewers a week?
Access TV.
How available is Access TV on cable?
That's not the point, Harry. I'm saying they have
a massive, it is. I mean,
they've got a way bigger audience for AEW than they had for New Japan. Okay, New Japan was a segment of the AEW
is available on TNT, on TBS. It's available in every cable package you have.
These guys,
TBS and TNT.
Here's the thing. He's saying that the core of the fans
wait a minute.
don't watch New Japan. What do you say to that?
No, wait. New Japan averaged 50 to 60,000 viewers in its final year on the network, on Access.
Oh, they went down.
50?
I think it was because I looked years ago when they were doing. Sometimes they were doing like 200 to 400. So maybe it got so. When was the last year was on? Because it may be before when AEW had already started. It was still
at the end of last year. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because everybody quit watching New Japan because everybody was watching AEW, right? But that's not a large segment. My point is, dude, they've been throwing all these Japanese guys on TV repeatedly, Suzuki, Ishii, and none of them have popped a number. Like none of them.
And here you go.
Thing, well, why
those guys.
No, I don't. You're bringing this guy in and trying to make him a big deal. It ain't going to work to make him a bigger deal than he is right now. Okay,
those guys you just mentioned, Disco, the fellas that it's like, hey, Suzuki, it's like, okay, bring him in every once in a while, and it's not.
No, the guy was on TV for like these guys were on TV repeatedly.
But Ibushi,
Ishii was in a faction.
Listen, even in 2022, they were doing 48,000. I got an article here. They did their lowest prior to that was 50,000 a few years ago. I don't think they were ever doing 200 to 400,000. Disco. I think you're.
Wait, maybe 200. But they were doing but that even makes my argument even more. Even less people are watching than I would have even thought. Okay, okay. So here's my point.
But here you go.
Wait. Now I got more. Sorry, Harry.
All right.
Kenny Omega Wrestle Kingdom 17 match, for New Japan on Access was only watched by 81,000 viewers. So that's a big match, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
wow. On TV, on delay, after it had already aired on New Japan World, where like when Jericho was on New Japan World on the.
Oh, that's right. He's the only guy that popped a number.
Yeah.
He popped like
these Japanese guys have not popped any numbers over here, but Jericho's popping numbers for that company over there. Bro, that's what I'm telling you. It's like. Okay, but it's only to tell you what happens next. The Young Buck responded since Swerve Strickland put his hands on an AEW official, was suspended for a week without pay. Okada then walked up with his friends from the Don Callis family. The Bucks said they had no problem with them, but they told them to be careful around Callis. They said they had common goals of strapping up Okada and hurting Omega and his golden lover. Then Beretta said he thinks that they'll like what he's about to do, and they all parted ways. And Takeshi told Okada to remember that this was temporary. Okada rolled his eyes and said, okay. But then bro, listen to the first two. Okay, they came off a hot week last week, right? Joe, are the minute by are the quarter hours up yet on WrestleNomics? Bro, the first two matches on the show is like Trent. You're doing Trent Barrett against Kota Ibushi. Like you couldn't find so Kota Ibushi wins, and after the match, Okada comes in and confronts Ibushi, and they get in his face. And if you watch this, there's about a few dozen fans in the crowd started chanting. Okay, like it was just like it wasn't that good.
There's your quarters, DI. And can you pull your mic up to your mouth a little bit?
Yep. Let me see here. So 643, 576, 608, 620, whatever. Okay, 643. Yeah, that's about the. Everybody probably actually this week didn't fall off a cliff like some of their bad shows do. What was the final number there in that last segment? 579 for the overrun. Once again, the main event's like the second, like one of the smallest things on the show again. Why is that? Oh, because the main event this week was Konnan. Remember Madonna's boyfriend?
Yeah.
Should they just call Monet's boyfriend, Mercedes' boyfriend?
Yeah.
That would be. Should we just refer to him as Mercedes' boyfriend from now on?
Why not?
Give him this Polly driver.
All right.
I mean, it seems like since it got public, now 2 main events in a row. I'm like, he should have been getting love before that, not just like out of nowhere, back-to-back main events.
Yeah. Well, so what did you think about the Trent Barrett-Ibushi match, Harry?
I mean, it's just two guys that hadn't wrestled a singles match in forever. Both had been injured. I don't see the reason why you would put Trent against Kota. I just didn't get it. I mean, it was great seeing Kota back in the ring, but it's just like, okay, it was just to set up the next match. It was 10, 12 minutes of good wrestling.
Only seven.
It felt like 10 to 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So wait, we kind of veered off the path. So for Ibushi, Harry, you think that at this point this year, he's as important as an appearance as he was 2 years ago, 4 or 5. You think he's still on that same level?
I don't think he's on the same level, but I feel like his return could have been managed in a way better way. I feel like if he had returned in that Dynamite where Kenny was being attacked by Okada,
that was the place.
And
the crowd would have gone bonkers.
He came back with Mark Briscoe in like a throwaway segment, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like after a match, Briscoe goes out. He's speaking. Don Callis family had attacked somebody, and then they were saying that Kenny has no friends. Then Briscoe came out. Hey, I'm Kenny's friend, and blah, 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 blah. And then, and here's another friend of Kenny Omega's, and Kota comes out.
That was Collision.
On Collision on a Saturday.
I saw that, bro. I saw that. I was like, what is going on here? Bro, his story is with Omega, bottom line.
Boom.
He had to come in when Omega was in trouble, right? And you just picked the perfect spot, and they missed a golden opportunity with the Golden Lovers. I like that name.
Nice.
And now his return on Collision was cold. His return to Dynamite, his first match in 2 years was cold. And it's like, okay, now he's going to wrestle Okada, but it's like
but bro,
missed
they
a
put
huge
him in
opportunity.
With Trent, who never wins, right? Now he's all serious and the hoodie thing with the cape, and you take care of him. And I think, bro, and I hate when they do this. He gave him way too much before he beat him. You know.
Yep.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.